Everybody, is Aaron here?
He's in the car with Brian.
Where's my co-speaker? They know what the schedule is. Where's my co-speaker? Aaron. We need him now. And there he is. Where are you? Why didn't you send Jason there? You're more important here than getting. Okay, Aaron's here. We're starting all the instructions. Everybody's out of the test room. So we'll go from here. Thank you. Hello. Thank you very much for attending Plugfest here. This is the opening. Our testing will start at 12:30 this afternoon. We had this introduction planned for 10 to 10:30, but I'll see if I can cut it down to about 45 minutes, and then we'll have the 1609.2 technical presentation by the SEMS providers. And is that going to be quick enough for you? Okay, so we'll start now and go, and hopefully everybody will be in here. So we do have our antitrust that follows all our events. Does anybody want me to read it, or have you heard it enough? Sounds like you've heard it enough, so that's good. There are two things here. We do have an FCC special temporary authorization for the next 2 weeks here. We'll only be using it this week. So you guys are covered here at this facility if you don't have FCC on your products, or you got products under development that need to claim this. So it's in place. Also, when we were here the first time in 2023, we did have to follow the prohibited device advisory that, and so I think that's still in effect. I needed to make sure I mention. Hopefully everybody knows the area. If they don't, I've been here probably 5 or 6 times for different testing events. This is a second Plugfest that we have done. So hopefully you have a hotel close to downtown, explore the restaurants. I've probably been to about 10 of them now. So if you want recommendations, come and see the OmniAir staff for that. This is a facility. The first time we were here, we were in the garages. This room's a much better, bigger. We're all together. Much cooler. The air conditioning in the garage bays weren't quite cool, keep us cool enough. So we're in the big room over there. So we're doing that. Everybody needs to be parking in the guest parking lot here. except for the vehicles that are being used under test. So the Wades vehicle will be at the corner of the building where we do the OBU drive testing for the Nobles OmniAir vehicle. That will be over on the corner of the building, and a few others. Are there any questions from that perspective? Okay. Contact information, you have Brakinda, she's at the front desk. Market, Ryan's handling a lot of this stuff. He's out and getting more cables at this time. And of course, I take the technical questions here. If you're scheduling a pickup from here, everything needs to be put in place, packed late Friday, and it must be scheduled for pickup before next Monday at 4 p.m. Actually, I just pack my boxes, take it to the UPS store, and send them from there. That's where I picked up. Why are we here at Plugfest? It's not only for the devices, it's for the test equipment, it's for the test cases, it's for the whole process. This facility here is a qualified OmniAir field test facility for tolling. We've ran a couple RFID tollings, and you'll also will see the oval track. They have 4 overhead gantries, and they'll be doing some V2X tolling demonstrations on Friday here. So test equipment, folks, you guys are going to hear your devices want to go through certain test cases that you'd like to, but also the test equipment people need you to go through some of their test cases because they've made changes. They want to get approval from the test laboratories and myself in order to put it into the new process. So please, when you go to a test station, it's a cooperative event. They'll try to run as much as they can for you, and they also have to get through some test cases themselves to make sure it is working properly. So when your device goes through the certification process, everybody's acceptable there. So unfortunately, it's a spam message, and I need to silence my phone. Okay. You can count how many Plugfests there. I think this is the 15th one. We're at Centrax. The last one we were in San Diego. It is for technology readiness. It's good for people who've been here starting the process, and it's good for people who've already been certified to verify that they are still complying with the process. We do build trust in that. You can go to our website. You can see the devices that have been certified already. There are some here, some that will be running a part of the interoperability test. And why is it moving forward? So go to our website. If you see that our website is not up to date or doesn't have your information properly, please let us know and we'll take care of it. I don't know about, are you changing the screens, but it's automatically changing. So, okay. Then the next thing is Edifice and TTA here. Once you come up here, it just changed. I didn't, the thing is, okay. Unless I have them set to a timer and you're in presentation mode. Once you take out of presentation mode, and that will take care of it. And once you come up here, so what we're going to do is BK here from TTA. Come on. He's so always bashful. So Ryan's going to have a giant, I can come down here. I'm getting old. Unfortunately, my father-in-law broke both of his ankles from jumping off a ladder about that height, about my age, and both ankles. So my wife had to go up and take care of him. So she's very careful of what I do. So we will do a ceremony for you on Friday with a great big certificate, but we wanted to at least get recognition here at the start. It will go up on the website probably tomorrow sometime. It's dated today.
Sure. All right, guys. Give a thumbs up.
So, and I believe they brought the device here and will be involved in a little bit of the testing.
Are we ready for the testing?
We have another half an hour of instructions to go. So this is the schedule. Yesterday, some folks came in. We took the bare room and put tables up, got the GPS repeater up. Hopefully it's working properly now. And we're all getting prepared. Hopefully we can get most of the testing started here at 12:30. And on all day Wednesday, we'll be doing the bench and conformance. We will have the field intersection testing on Thursday and Friday here. So there will be a couple of folks setting up the cave in the box and the Sims tool on Wednesday to make sure it's ready to go on Thursday morning. So please work hard today and tomorrow to get most of the bench testing done. The schedule is completely full. So, and then we'll still run conformance and bench on Thursday along with the field testing. I believe there's a social on Thursday evening. We will be doing the bench tours for the event people on Thursday late afternoon, the last session. We want to make sure everybody gets to see them because only about 25% of the test stations in the bench area will be running on Friday morning. So on Friday, there's limited conformance testing. There'll be the field testing still going on in the morning. There'll be the event keynote speaker and panel discussions in this room on Friday morning. And then there will be some demonstrations after lunch. And maybe we'll get them to do test runs in the morning too. And then the test equipment teardown is Friday. So basically, these are the test stations we have here. These are the test cases and the test documents that we'll be going through them. It kind of shows what each test station and test equipment is capable of. If you want to go, I did update the SharePoint Sunday night. So a lot of these documents are on our Plugfest SharePoint. If you don't have access to them, see Ryan or Perkinda to be able to get access to it. We have the test plan that the Excel file is and PowerPoint is sitting on the SharePoint site. If you want to copy it down. This is the test equipment we have here. We have the Keysight system, bench conformance, and congestion control. There's 2 test stations there. Keysight's running one of them. And on the second one, we have one day, Decra Mario will be running the Keysight system. One day, TTA will be running the Keysight system. Then the last day or day and a half, Keysight itself will run both test systems. So please take advantage of that. And the reason why that is they've updated some test cases. We need DECRA's and TTA's concurrence on the updated test cases they've done. So I can actually grant a certification update so they can be used in the certification process. We have the Wave B tablet here. I have one as a sniffer. Keysight, did you bring a second one? No? So there are only one of them floating around. That's fine. The application tester, I don't believe they brought. We have the Spirent test system that both DECRA will be running and TTA has brought to run. Sad that Spirent himself couldn't attend. They had some visa issues. We have the iTerra's test tablet, and that has been qualified now, so I should put a gold frame around it. I didn't notice it until right now. We have the SAE test system and their sniffer here that we'll be using for the metadata and some capturing in the bench. We have the CAPS test tool here. We have the Saxon Lab, the Cave in the Box, and the VDEX Hub here. And we have the Wades performance tool. This is the schedule. Guess what? I broke it down so it'll be easier to read. So you can go online to see it. I need to ask Ryan, how is he going to show it in the test facility, and how are we going to update it? I asked him to bring a second computer and that stuff. Hopefully the screen there can be rolled into the other area, and we can have it there in the computer, and we can make schedule adjustments if needed. So actually, I had the right amount of devices for the right amount of test stations. So it actually worked out well. This one is the Keysight test system 1 and 2. You can see the pointer, the Keysight and devices there, and when you're scheduled. We also have the Keysight second system where Mario will be running the first 4 test slots. Then BK will be running the next 4 test slots. Then Keysight itself will run on Friday. These are the updated test cases that Keysight has updated, but they want concurrence from the device manufacturers and the test laboratories. So I'm looking for feedback there. If everybody gives thumbs up, we'll update their test equipment revision, and that will be used in the starting from this point on. I also put down the TTI and the DECRA tests, what they'll be testing and where, because some of their testing goes from Keysight over to when they're not operating the Keysight system, they'll be operating the Spirent test system and their 1218 testing. And then we have Wades that will be, they brought their bench congestion control also to run through and evaluate. We heard the US DOT is very interested in this testing, and also Keysight. Are you only running the congestion control on Keysight system 1, or can it be run on 1 and 2? Where's the Keysight guys? So we must not have everybody from Keysight because I don't see Neil. And that sounds like a Neil's question. Okay. Okay. I didn't want to promise something that you're only planning on doing one or the other. Okay. We, on this Stoll or Lidos VDEX hub for his messaging, you're all in about an hour to an hour and 15-minute test slots here. I try to get most of them done Tuesday and Wednesday because they will also be outside a lot of Thursday and Friday helping with the outside testing. So we'll need to get as much of it done here in the first day and a half. Then we also have the NIST interoperability test station. NIST is new to our event. Eugene, do you want to stand up? So he comes from the NIST and he started a interoperability tool this last year. So he'll be giving a technical presentation with Justin Anderson, who will join us remotely because Justin couldn't get travel authorization to come here. And so they want to see as many devices come to you and the ones that are the latest and greatest of the standards. We'll see how it works. And you'll probably have some updating to do or some learnings. And so we'll see how it works out. So you're scheduled pretty full all the way through. Then the SIMS and cave in a box intersection testing, that will be Thursday and Friday morning. So we will have the device under test here be put into either the Stoll or the Noblest car. Then the Stoll people will be running the cave in the box through the intersection. This cave in the box has been updated to represent the ITS World Congress Atlanta intersection. So they're using a Q-free controller. They're using a Danlaw RSU that's been updated to whatever version they're running there at this time. We also have the ITS Georgia OBU here, which is a CODA MK6 to be tested. So anybody who's part of wanting to be evaluated against the Georgia intersection, we have the tools, we have the testing here, and then Alan Davis, I believe, will be here Thursday, Friday, and we'll show them kind of what we're doing, what everybody's been going through, and that. So we'll be running a lot of cars through here on Thursday and Friday morning. Yes. Okay. Both. Okay. The Waities test tool, they're getting set up right now. So we will be running the devices through that. And here's the schedule here for them. And then the same schedule that was on the other bench, I just loaded it here. So they can have one sheet to know where they're testing and who they're testing against. So I'll get Burkinder or Ryan to print out the sheets. Each test station will have the schedule, who's coming to them, who they need to go find, and all that perspective. Okay, one of the things we've been trying to do for the last 2 years is we want all the devices to be compliant with the latest standards. Most of us have been running our devices per J3161 version 2022 for the radio config, which is the SLS allocated without the SSL allocation bits. Most of all the Qualcomm devices we've tested in the past that puts in the XML file, they show good behavior from both the new and the 2024. When we tried to do the AutoTalks-based devices, there were some problems the last couple of years, and their RRC file they gave us about 2 years ago, a couple of the test equipment said, well, it needed some modifications in order to work, and they got it to work. So we do have some test tools that can test it. I did get an email back on Sunday saying, can we have what you recommend for the Autotalks-based devices to do this testing. So this is the data that they gave me on Sunday night. It is loaded on the website here. They gave the instructions, and there's the new RRC files they said that should be used here this week. So we'll have, does everybody know Dr. Todd Schulin from the NTIA? Is Todd here? There's Todd. So he'll be very interested. So when you want to switch your device over to demonstrate you're doing it, take it over to him, the Wades test tool, and we have a couple other test tools. Actually, not Wades, the Keysight WaveB. I knew it started with a W. He will test it to make sure you're compliant, and we can change a couple other devices over to do it. I got to think about on the SEA, when we were in Taiwan, we changed that one to that configuration. I got to think about whether we changed it back to the 2022 or the 2024. So I'll check that this afternoon. So hopefully this will solve our problem. Everybody can move forward to the latest standards. Yes.
So what is the plan then for immediate testing? Are we at 2022 or 2024 or?
We've instructed everybody to do 2022. If you want to, you can change your devices to 2024 and go through all the test cases. What I recommend in certification is whatever you feel comfortable with, test all your devices through that, then have a couple test cases where we switch it into the other mode so you can claim that you're working with it. And I think once we get to the point where everybody's comfortable with 2024, then we can say it's all 2024. Is there any problems with that, or do you like that approach? Okay. The bench verification testing is going to be very busy doing that. We've also got to ask, can somebody load the identity search to the OBUs and see how they work and demonstrate? I have never done it. When I asked a couple of the device manufacturers, said, well, we want to try it first. Hopefully you try it, we demonstrate there's no problems with it, and we can kind of move forward with it. There's a sniffer test station and the tools there. The intersections, we'll have intersections 1 with the SIMS validation tool, and Brian Romansky from ISNS is bringing it, an SEMS manager, to show what kind of reporting with that tool can be done. I believe they're bringing the measurement tool with them, and they'll go through that. If you have any questions right now, Aaron's the point of contact. And then intersection 3 will be the Georgia Cave in the Box, which has a queue-free traffic signal controller, a Danlo RSU. Then there will be a CODA OBU run with it. Then they'll be broadcasting SPAT, WSA, SPAT, MAP, TIMS, and you can request PSM messages go through static on that. The Noblest folks basically gave us some routes they want to be run on Thursday and Friday. So you can go, and there's the pictorials of the routes to take it. They've kind of basically said, instead of starting the test, then just saving at the end where they're all of them, we'll stop them wherever comfortable. So we maybe get route 1 saved, then route 2, then route 3. So they're separated in case if we miss saving one of them, it's not a big deal. and we don't have to do it all over again. I do need to work out with the Noblest and Stoll guys on the PCAP naming structure that they want to push up and identify. They gave us some recommendations here, and it looks pretty straightforward. We also, on the oval track, will have the VDEX tolling, which is J3217. They'll have some encrypted TEMs on there. I believe the west side is intra and Audi, and the west gantry is caps. Is that correct? Sometimes in Florida, I get mixed up East Coast and West Coast on the side. So I believe that's true. So for ITS World Congress, we did pick out some selected test cases to run through it because they basically wanted devices to come here, go through the testing. Basically, you'll just give them the results, and we'll basically tell them that, hey, you ran the test cases. So there is a test spec out there, both for OBUs and RSUs. And I swore I took that out. I'll show you. Looks like I have some typing revenues. I thought I had taken that out and updated that front of the page. I'll look on my computer, and then we also have that. But I believe the documents that's on the SharePoint are up to date in that perspective. For this, the OBU, what I'd like you guys to do is take the template down, fill in your results. The test stations will also provide Aaron and I results. So I'll kind of do a quick check and verification that the results that you had put into your template is your results, and say, hey, they look pretty good to me, and I'll go in, and there's a couple PCAPs that I'll have to do analysis on and put that in there. But it's a joint project. So I did give you an example that's on the SharePoint from the different sections, what the results should look like. So they're there. I did in the PowerPoint that is in the SharePoint site. I believe it's PowerPoint. If not, it's a PDF I loaded there. But it has all the instructions for testing, the test station. This particular Plugfest, Aaron has volunteered to come and get test results. And I believe he's going to do it every day or so. So for IP assignments, I kind of went in and done it like we've done in the past. So there's the IP assignments for the devices. You can go to the test stations, and I believe the Wadies guys were looking for that for the first ones and moving forward. The BSM checklist is out there. The drive route, this kind of describes what they got to do. I do have to sit down with the Noblest folks and the Wadies folks here this afternoon on the first runs to make sure that we got the best route we can do as far as efficient in that. So that's in there. This is kind of what we do for the BSM performance and location accuracy. The one thing, if you've not been out here, when you look out the back door of our test area, you can see the terrain track goes up and down curves and everything. Probably give you the best test your OB will ever see. And it's also fun driving it. um, I did hit some proposed test routes. I'll sit down with the guys and find out which one they really want to go use. But it was easier from my large screen at home to go in and map the routes out. So I took 4 different versions. So this slide will be updated here probably tonight. And that's all I had. And I did leave some of the instructions and the other test equipment details in the back of the slides. So, Aaron, you're up as far as taking test results and that stuff. The Excel spreadsheet, got all these files, it's all in the same Excel spreadsheet. So if you want to take it off, use it, rename it, don't get it confused with my master. I don't care if you use the Excel spreadsheet. Just don't try, because someplace we got to have the master, and I believe we'll probably take the signboard over for adjusting the schedule. Is there any questions for me at this time? So we're going to end. Yeah.
I don't think I have any slides or anything. So for the device manufacturers, for each individual test station, we do have printouts of what that test station actually offers, what test cases those support. So the idea is for the device manufacturers to fill those out. If you guys would like to keep those on the table, I will come around and pick those up after every test session. As far as test stations are concerned, I did upload a new Excel sheet in the SharePoint. If you guys want to take a look at that, I can come around to each test station and kind of show those. But you can separate it into different sections. You don't have to actually look at Randy's whole spreadsheet. So it makes it a little bit easier to read. We will be taking those results at the end of the week. Of course, the evaluation forms that Randy was discussing earlier will also get those results at the end of the week. So device manufacturers after every test station will get your results, test stations end of the week, and then for the evaluation forms will get those. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Awesome. That's all I got, Randy.
Okay. Jason, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here this week, contributing to this. It's a collective effort. I think together we're going to help to move the industry forward. And at the end, what you saw with Ediphos is the goal for everybody. Is that we want to have more certified devices. It's not an easy task, and this is the week to learn and to help each other. And hopefully we'll have, by the end of this year, a lot of certified devices.
So what we want to give them about 5 minutes for the SCMS providers to show their virtual results, because that's what's scheduled from 11 to 11:30. Do you know what the latest status for lunch is?
After the presentations, but not just 5 minutes, presentations from each of the SCMS providers, we will have lunch. The caterers are probably setting up right now in the next room. So sit here. I think you're going to get some really good presentations. Can I have representatives from Sasoltech, Microsec, and Autocorrect to come up to the stage?
You can take my slides off.
And I don't know if they've given you the individual presentation. Have they given you the presentations? Okay. Sean, come on up. You the ISS guy. Talk about virtual test results.
Let me pull my stick or. Thank you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Aaron, you want to be the, no, thanks, bud. Okay, so for the second time, last month, OmniAir put together a virtual testing event, which meant everyone did this remotely, and we did this to promote SCMS interoperability. So we had a number of vendors volunteer to participate, and we had 4 SCMS providers, 3 of whom are on stage today, to talk about, to actually do this testing in a virtual environment, to have some results that we could talk about in Meadow Show. I guess as testing was going on, gave some preliminary results, and we recorded that. That's on one of our monthly membership meetings, and we're happy to point you to that presentation as well. But I think it's incredibly important. And I just wanted to start with a few questions for the group. So one, maybe introduce yourself and your organization and what you do. And we'll start with that.
Hi, I'm Madam Cho from Cecil Tech. I cover business development, and yeah, we've actually Cecil Tech. We've reached out to USDOT. We raised the importance of 1609.1 supported SCMS interoperability test. There was supposed to be USDOT interoperability testing here next week. So we wanted to suggest, well, why don't we do this 1609.1 base test? So we collaborated, we talked to USDOT, and then they collaborated with OmniAir, and then yeah, we have done this amazing test in March, and we've done a lot of improvement ever since 2 years ago in 2023, the first interoperability test, SCMS interoperability test, 1609.1 supported. I'm so excited to share the results.
Just very quickly about Cecil Tech for those who there may be some of them.
Oh yes, so Cecil Tech, we have V2X security platform, and we also have security credential management system. So basically, and also recently we have um, released the 1609.1 test system. So we are collaborating with Zebra. I don't know, Mario is here. So, oh yeah. And then with many device manufacturers, we're testing their device that is supported 1609.1, and it has been very successful.